Right, just in case anyone wanted to know how this works. This is the housing, and it's got a thread in the bottom and a glow plug just happens to fit in that thread. This is a valve guide seal that's over the bottom end of the glow plug where it threads in, and it's got a rubber seal between that and the casing. So if you blow in here, you can blow through, but if you push down on this, you can't blow through. It only takes a tiny bit of pressure to stop it. Well, you know, at the PSI that I can blow at, and then when it opens, it floods, goes round the edge and out the other hole. Okay, here. Now this is the clever bit. In here is, you see this like filter housing. There's another smaller one inside. Do you see? Okay. Inside that there is a tiny spring for preload, a large spring for, well, it's a good spacer, it just happened to be the right spacer, and this inside is sealed. Yep, to another valve guide here. Right, a valve guide there, and when there's boost, it pushes into both chambers. As you can see, the air can get into both chambers, yeah, and it pushes down on the plunger in here, yeah, it pushes it down when there's boost to push down on this to lock it off, and when there's no boost, when there's vacuum, it pulls back to give less pressure on this to let the fuel flow. So the general idea is this goes on. This is the assembly glow plug for assembling it, because you have to get the spring lined up at the end, right? So I've just got to remove this. 1 sec. Second, it's difficult, man, with one hand. Pull him out. And you have to be careful because the spring can. Oh no, I mean, so you can't. The spring can't slip off. So now it goes over the housing. Right. Around about like that. That's the one. Yep. So you can see, like, you've got a little bit of preload. Now this one goes over here and tightens down to seal at the bottom, so the whole thing's sealed apart from the hole at the top. Now the inner section is sealed quite well. The inner section sealed from the fuel and the outer section sealed from the fuel, so the fuel can't get into the top section. The vacuum can pull the preload spring up and down. Boost can push it down. Well, the vacuum can pull it up. Boost can push it down, which acts on the actuator inside there. Now, to add preload or pre-tension is this. This is the vacuum reference line. Okay, this goes into here like this. Okay, now that's not all the way in because that is at 0 preload, right? Well, so we've got about 1 millimeter of preload that we can put on extra, and if we need less preload, we can take some off, because this will push on the brass fitting in the end to adjust the preload. Fuel comes in, tries to push it up, has to push against the spring. So some fuel will leak back to the tank. The more boost you have, the harder it is for the fuel to leak back to the tank, so the higher fuel pressure you have. The more vacuum you have, the easier it is for it to leak back to the tank, so the less pressure you have. And that is how it works.